Hey everyone, I'm Kristy Bushaw with Remax Paradise. Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday, where we are going to talk about you enjoying more life along the Alabama and Florida Gulf Coast as a homeowner. Today we're covering something very coastal. All homeowners need to understand insurance, but no, I'm not an insurance agent. It's not glamorous, but it's essential to understand the key things regarding insurance, because when you live near the water, you're surrounded by beauty and risk. Let's talk about what your policy really means, what it doesn't cover, and how to protect your peace of mind while we're not yet to the next storm season, and we made it through this one without a storm. Here along the Gulf Coast, insurance works differently than in inland communities. You don't just have one policy, you usually have three: homeowners, wind, and flood. Each policy has its own coverage, its own deductible, and its own fine print. We all know about fine print in contracts. So if you only carry homeowners insurance, you may not be protected against the big threats we face: wind and flooding. So here along the coast, it's very important that you have multiple homeowner policies. One that covers fire, theft, and some interior water damage. It also covers liability if someone's injured on your property. But coastal policies often exclude wind and surge. That's why most people add separate coverages for their perils. First thing you need to do is review your current policies on a yearly basis. Know exactly what it covers and what it doesn't. Make sure you do this annually because you want to shop rates also, along with coverage. If you're south of the intercoastal, there's a good chance your standard policy includes wind. You'll need a separate policy for windstorm, often though through like Alabama Insurance Underwriting Association or private carrier. Wind coverage protects your roof, siding, and windows. If your roof meets the fortification standards, you can save significantly on premiums. It's one of the smartest improvements for your home. So if you're going to replace your roof, be sure to get it inspected by an IBHS certification person who gives you the gold or silver fortification. Flood insurance is also another one that is misunderstood. It covers water that comes from the outside and rises up. Storm, overflow, those type of things. It's not part of your homeowner policy. It must be purchased separately. If you're in an AE or a VE zone with a mortgage, your lender will require flood insurance. AE is averagely expensive, VE is very expensive. In X-flood zones, you don't need the insurance coverage for flood, although it's really reasonable, so it's important that you do go ahead and consider getting it, even though you don't have to with your mortgage company. Hurricane deductibles are usually percentage-based, a 2%, a 3%, or a 5% if you're of your insured valuables. If your home is insured for $600,000 with a 5% deductible, you'll pay $30,000 out of pocket before insurance even kicks in. Know your numbers. A higher deductible means lower premiums, but it also means more responsibility after a storm. So I guess you have to think, are you a risky person? We may not have a storm that you have a lot of damage. A client of mine in Gulf Shores thought she was fully covered. She didn't use one of my preferred vendors, and after a hurricane, her main house was repaired and covered, but her pool, her pier, her equipment, those items weren't covered. Why do you think? Well, On her statement, they weren't listed as separate structures on her insurance policy. That was an oversight that cost her tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. So many homeowners make the mistake of assuming that flood coverage is automatically included in their policy, and it's not. Another mistake is forgetting to put outbuildings and other improvements in your policy. Also, letting the policy auto renew without shopping. Also, getting updated pictures and getting additional coverage when you do remodel. A quick review every year of your homeowner's policy and what improvements you've done will save you millions and lots of headaches. Ask yourself about the roof and the wind mitigation credits. A fortified inspection can unlock discounts. Bundle your home, your auto, and your flood policies. Also install hurricane shutters or strong windows, hurricane strapped, reinforced doors. Update your elevation certificate. Work with local agents who understand coastal risk. But no, I have preferred vendors for all of this. So simply reach out to me. But there's also things that are different when you look at a condo versus a home insurance. So let's talk about the difference between a condominium and a home. When you own a home, you insure everything: structure, land, belongings, and any outbuildings. When you own a condominium, your coverage depends on the association's policy. There are two main types: bare walls and all-in. Bare walls covers only the building frame and common areas. You must insure everything inside: your flooring, your cabinets, and your fixtures. All-in covers interior finishes, but you still need your own HO6 policy. That covers contents and liability. Always request a copy of the condominium master policy each year and make sure your personal coverage fills any gaps. Confirm whether flood insurance is included. If not, add it to yourself so that your interior is covered when it comes to flood. Hurricane season begins in June. Review your coverage policy early. Check your deductibles and make sure the amounts are appropriate for your budget. Store digital copies of your policies and your receipts and any updated photos you have. Flood coverage actually takes a whole 30 days to actually activate. And if a storm gets in the Gulf, they no longer write any policies for flood or any insurance at all. Preparations protects your peace of mind. At the end of the day, insurance isn't just paperwork, it's really peace of mind. You know, my goal is to help you when living along the Gulf Coast and achieving your dream of sunsets and spending time with your family and community. Protect your home so you can be enjoying more life along the Alabama and Florida Gulf Coast. I'm Kristy Bushaw with RE/MAX Paradise, and this has been another Wisdom Wednesday. If you don't mind, hit a comment down below by what you liked or anything of your experiences you've had dealing with insurance here along the Gulf Coast. See you next week.